Teams are starting to roll out Copilot inside Power BI. So you might be seeing this colorful little button showing up right inside your Power BI app. And with everyone talking about AI right now, you've got to be curious, is this going to actually help with real work? Finance, ops, project decisions? So you try asking something about your data. The answer isn't quite what you are hoping for. And that's a problem because you can't repeat a number in a call or a deck if you're not really sure of it. So in this video, I'm going to use real Copilot examples to show you how to ask Copilot the right way so that you can trust every number you use in your meetings. I've got this report open and I'm going to ask Copilot a question. What were total orders last month? Which is probably the exact kind of question you would naturally want to ask. And Copilot has returned 14,941. Sounds pretty confident. Sounds right? The actual number for February was around 2000. And when I click through to the source, it's actually pulled it from a headline on a completely different page. It's the all-time total, not February's. And this is a real problem, right? Because it had a really confident tone, but it was wrong. And you could have easily taken that number and put it in an email. And unless you had double checked, you wouldn't have known it wasn't right. But what actually went wrong? Well, look at the report itself. The language on the page that we were looking at says order volume. It has region names, date slices, labels. Copilot reads all of these words. That's its vocabulary. So when I said total orders, it didn't actually know what I meant. It found something that it could match with and it went with it. But what happens when I use the report's language instead? What was order volume for March 2026? And this time, the answer is 2,420, what I expect. I can open the chart in the table and view it right there and confirm that, yeah, that's the right number. Our intent didn't change, but what changed was how we worded the question. And by switching out our words for the words that are already in the report, we moved from a number that was wrong to one that you could genuinely put inside a presentation. But before you think that every vague question gives you the wrong answer, that's not quite what's happening. Because, look, I've tried a couple of other vague questions as an example and got a bit of a mixed bag. The catch is that you can't really predict what vague questions will work and which won't. So here's an example. I've asked, is delivery getting worse? And Copilot actually gave me a nuanced answer. Said delivery is stable to improving. Gave me particular months and figures. I clicked through the chart it was referencing and actually it all checked out. But watch this. I asked which manager is struggling. And in this first session, I got a comprehensive breakdown of manager performance. Useful, detailed, pretty much what I was expecting. So I cleared the chat, same question, brand new session, and this time Copilot gave me a clarifying question. What did I really mean by struggling? It didn't answer at all. And then the last time it got blocked. That's a pretty confusing pattern, right? Because I asked the same question 3 times and got completely different responses. See, in AI, there's this concept called non-deterministic. The output can vary even when the input stays exactly the same. And that's not going to matter if you're asking ChatGPT for some dinner ideas. But when it's revenue figures, when it's SLA numbers or things that you're presenting to your board, then you need the same answer every single time, and you need to know it's right. But look what happens when I ask which managers have a red rag status. Using the exact words from the report, I actually get the same information every time. The key is clear, detailed questions. That is what's going to lead to consistent answers. You're narrowing the room for interpretation. And honestly, once you understand that as a concept, when you work with the fact that Copilot is non-deterministic, you've understood something about how AI works that most people haven't. But there are questions that it doesn't matter how detailed you are, Copilot just can't help. And if you don't know what it does and doesn't do well, you'll waste time rephrasing the same question 5 different ways before a meeting thinking maybe that you're the problem. So I've asked here, how many orders will we get in a future date? Pretty reasonable question, right? If I'm prepping for a planning meeting. But Copilot has said that it can't predict future orders because the data doesn't contain a forecast. But it did offer to show me historical patterns as a rough guide, which is actually pretty helpful. See, I wasn't asking wrong. It's just not built to do that. Copilot only works with what's in your data already. It doesn't forecast, it can't tell you really why something happened. So why did delivery spike in August? It's outside of what it does. So if today it can't help you forecast and it can't explain the why, what can it do? And a great place to start is to ask it. So I've asked it, what does this app cover? And it's given me a really clear breakdown of everything within the Power BI app. It also has some predefined prompts too. So I asked it to prep a summary for my team, and it's produced a 5-bullet executive summary with clean numbers. Before Monday morning meeting, that could genuinely save you 20 minutes of clicking through different pages. So if Copilot can't give you what you need, then stop rephrasing it. Just stay in the lane of what it can do. And when you're not sure what that is, just ask it. However, sometimes the limitation isn't Copilot. Actually, it's a gap between your language and the data's language. A field in the data might be called something like rev_net, but you and your team just call it net revenue. So if I ask something like, what's our net revenue this quarter? Copilot has to guess what I mean, because that exact phrase doesn't exist in the data today. Your report builders can easily fix this, but they need to know what you actually call things, because they're not usually in the meetings where people say run rate, active pipeline, but you are. So the next time you're talking with a report builder or you're building yourself, just think about what are the real names, what are the words that people actually say. So now if you ask about net revenue, then you'll get the answer that you expect. That doesn't just help you, but actually it helps everyone who uses Copilot with this data. We started with wondering if Copilot could answer real business questions. And now we know the answer to that is all about asking it the right way. But we've also seen how easy it is for Copilot to confidently give us answers that aren't always right. But what if you had a quick way to, every single time, easily know if the answer is actually safe to use? Watch this next video where I'll show you my exact 3-step process to verify any Copilot answer so you know if the data is right and you can confidently use it in every meeting.